Pop quiz. What does a taiaha, a buli, and a nifuoki all have in common? The short answer is they're all technically clubs. Now, in Western culture, I know when we hear the word club, as far as weapons go, we tend to think of something that a caveman might have used. Something crude, something primitive, something that doesn't seem like it would be super effective. But Polynesians had this thing down to a science. Like, it was art. Before we get into it, I know someone's probably going to be up in arms that I put a taiaha in this group. And I've heard so many different sides of this debate. There's people who are adamant that the taiaha is not a spear, which it's definitely not, but it's not like a regular staff in that it's shorter. So it's grouped as a quarterstaff, that's a technical term, but as far as posture, as far as stance, like striking positions, the way that a taiaha is used, it's much more similar to say like a lula or a talavalu as opposed to a spear. Going back into it though, Polynesians had so many different types of clubs. They had this down to a science. There are two-handed clubs, there's throwing clubs, there were clubs that could double as daggers, there's clubs with teeth, clubs without teeth, and they knew how to use them so efficiently. They did have longer distance weapons. For instance, like there were islands that had bow and arrows that used spears, that could use spears as throwing, but they were mainly used for hunting. Same with the bow and arrow. And it made me kind of wonder why Pacific Islanders were so adamant about using those only for hunting and never in war. The conclusion I kind of came to, and what I even heard in some of the things I studied and watched and read, was that Polynesians by nature are extremely proud. Exhibit A. Back in the day, and even now, like say like to fight, to go to war is something that's very personal, and they wanted it to be close quarters. So hand-to-hand combat was pretty much how everybody fought. The idea being that if you were going to fight someone, you would do it face to face. To try and do it from a distance was cowardly, weaker. It meant that you weren't a worthy opponent because you weren't willing to face someone head on. There's a quick intro to Polynesian weaponry for you. Let me know your thoughts, drop it in a comment, share this video, and be sure to give me a follow.